It's nice you're talking about bodybuilding actually, because for you, you're obviously like a pretty fit guy. I love going to the gym too. And for you, like, is that primarily what you do, is like bodybuilding exercises kind of thing, or?
Yeah, I mean, just it's kind of, well, a lot of people will say it's useless. I mean, what do you need? What do you need it for when you're a musician? But it's like it all started just from the simple fact that, yeah, I mean, we when we as musicians we sit a lot, right? We just barely move, so it's just nice to move in general, no matter what you do. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding. Just, I mean, if you, even if you just go out once in a day for a short stroll, it's really better than to do nothing. But I don't know. But to me, it's always been a passion since high school. It started just because I wanted to impress a girl, but when I was like 16 or something. But then I kind of loved this whole process, and it just since then, and then afterwards, I was not really consistent about it. But after COVID, I realized that okay, now I have a bit more time and a bit more, well, patience and motivation, because I also started to get that pandemic fat when you just sit at home for too long and don't move. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's time to do something about it. And I get back to gym, and then since then I've been basically grinding nonstop for like more than 4 years already. It changed quite a bit, and well, happy with my results. And it just another thing that structures my life, just makes life more consistent, because that's the word that you mentioned. I think that's something that we can put everything else around the word consistency. No matter what you do, it's like kind of a habit, building a habit of whatever, habit of of doing social media, habit of producing content or music or whatever, habit of going to gym like every day, or no matter like how often you want to do it, but regularly, right? So, and all of that in the long run would be giving you results inevitably. So the question is that, well, but for bodybuilding, I know for sure I'm not built in the way I like a professional bodybuilder. So I will never become a professional. But again, do you have to be professional? If you start something new, do you always have to have this bigger goal of becoming the best? No, absolutely not. If you enjoy it, then just do it, whatever. And that's why I'm thinking in general, it's really nice when you are being as a musician, especially like being a professional, right? You will think, okay, talking about consistency now, I'm going to be contradicting myself. It means that okay, you would want to probably spend 8 hours a day, keep practicing until the end of your life, because you really want to be the best, right? It's like it's your profession, it's like something you make your living off. And it means that you really have to grind, but at the same time it feels like you would lose so many good things about life. It's totally fine to spend a week with your loved ones instead of practicing. The world is not going to collapse because you're not practicing guitar for a week. It's totally fine to, well, split your day and enjoying some other hobbies, even realizing that you're not going to be the best in the world, no matter what you're going to be taking. Because again, it's not about the best in the world. It's like, I'm not even talking, I'm talking like I'm the best in the world in guitar playing. Absolutely not. I'm just, well, this is just something I make a living off. And again, music is not about who's the best and who's the worst, but I'm just saying it's just, even though it's my priority and I still need to prioritize it, it doesn't mean that I want to go crazy about it. And I had this periods of time, like in 2017 or something, when things started to blow up, and I was thinking, okay, oh shit, I need to really play at least 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day, because I really need to be in shape. I really need to be, well, to give all of me, to do my best. And what happens because of that? You feel constantly pressured. You feel like you're not living life. You feel like you always keep that in mind. Oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and you have to do it every day. And I also heard this weird practices that some classical musicians do, is that they, for example, have this 6 hours a day set for practicing. And if you don't hit the 6 hours today, for example, you hit 5 hours, it means that one more hour should go next day. So it means you practice 7 hours next day. And then, it's like, you've always been like, it's like a huge debt for yourself, and you just never cover it. And at some point it's 12 hours or whatever, because, I mean, there are days when where you would be missing these hours. And it's like, it would be just making you go crazy. So that's what I'm saying. The world is not going to collapse if you're going to spread your attention a little bit. Of course, you still, I mean, I'm not talking about constantly switching to something else and doing that and totally forgetting about your primary thing that you already see results, and you might be already considering yourself to be talented in it, right? Because you might be seeing this predisposition, right? I see that some things that I do on guitar is easy for me, whether because of practicing or because of my predisposition or something, and I feel like, okay, it makes sense to hit the same spot. It makes sense to grind the same spot, but it doesn't mean that I want to go crazy over that and spend 8 hours a day grinding the same thing. I might get better as a musician, of course, but is it worth it sacrificing so many other things in your life, sacrificing spending time with people that you love, sacrificing other hobbies, sacrificing exploring the world? And it's like that's the big question, because yeah, life is limited. We don't have that much time to produce enough content, right? I mean, you really you really gotta think, okay, well, how many years realistically I have? But still, it's a lot of time. I mean, I'm just 26 now. If everything goes well and I'm not gonna die in a plane crash, then I still have at least 40 years of music making. It's like how many albums I can do. It's like, it's just crazy. And doing bodybuilding or something like that would not hurt. It would actually make me, I guess, a bit more diverse person. It would make me a bit happier. It would make my stress being put into something else as a relief, and something like that. So and I actually, like, if I'm in a position to suggest or advise people about something, it's just not to be afraid to venture a little bit into other things, just to try them out for the sake of enjoyment. Because we all started playing guitar not because we had the ambition of becoming the best thing, but because we just wanted to have fun with it. For whatever reason, play your favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers riff. Isn't that a great motivation?
Yeah. I think you hit in the head on the consistency for sure. And for you, being so consistent with guitar over the years, you realize, oh, if I just put the consistent time into this and then you roll it into bodybuilding, you're like, okay, well, if I keep being consistent with this, I will have similar results where I will be getting, I will progressively get better and better. And then you're like, you're learning better ways to lift the weights, mind muscle connection. And then, it's not just working out. I need to be eating a certain amount of grams of protein per day. And, there's all those little things you learn along the way. And I think that's pretty cool, man. And